am about to show you two stories and a headline that I think are very, very important, because I need you to put your thinking caps on and move past what the title of the article say, especially this first one, and what's the meat inside and the dates. Because for years I've told you that these big behemoths are going to fall in this next market correction. When the stock market corrects, and it will, just like it did twice before since the year 2000, cut 50% of its value twice. As this market goes into turmoil over inflation, interest rates, and this new presidential election, I said the behemoths will fall in real estate. All these big funds like BlackRock and Blackstone and Invitation Homes, and we're going to talk about Invitation Homes. There's smoke right now, and I'm going to show you a news story that just came out where there is smoke. You see the Democrats just they're putting up a bill that is going to potentially, I don't think it's going to go through, completely ban hedge funds from buying homes. Okay? When all the news hits a fever pitch of these housing crisis, it's a crisis, it's an affordability crisis, that's when everything implodes. Identical to what happened in 2006, 2007. So we're going to read these stories, and I really need you to move past the dates, and I'm trying to show you these cycles. That's what I teach everyone in my course, real estate cycles, emotional and psychological cycles, how to get the best deal on these homes and how to take advantage of where you are in any given day in a real estate cycle. And these cycles are massive. They're 10 to 12, 13 years long usually. But this one was blown up exponentially because they didn't correct it in 2015. So here we go. Let me talk about this. Let's go for the first story. And let's see. Sorry, all right. Come on now. Here we go. All right. This is out of the San Diego Union Tribune. It's entitled California Investors Shed Rental Houses. It's a national trend too. So it's going to talk about multiple states. It says California's single-family rentals dropped by 81,548 units between the years of 2017 and 2022. So hold on before you think this is old news. It says we have hordes of investors from mom and pops to Wall Street giants gobbling up single-family residences across the state to make them rentals. Remember, that was all during an ultra low interest rate environment, okay? Everything changes when all of a sudden interest rates flip, and we're already starting to see that. It says, well, my trusty spreadsheet looked at by the State Census Bureau stats detailing who lives in single-family residences, detached and attached, and whether the occupants were owners or renters. Figures from 2022 and 2017 were compared. It says these figures showed the fears of potential homeowners being squeezed out by investors and perhaps overblown. Renter-occupied single-family housing is largely on the decline. Let me explain. So he says here, he goes into some stats. Yes, California has the most single-family rentals in the nation at 2.1 million units, or 15% of the total U.S. Single-family houses in the entire country. Remember, the vast majority of this housing is owned by small investors. Then they talk about the scope for the renters option is Texas with 1.3 million units, then Florida's at 897,000, Pennsylvania at 602,000, and Ohio at 584. That's an order of size, right? It says Florida had the biggest drop during this time at 87,803, and then California came, Georgia at 61,000, Illinois at 56,000, and Michigan at 51. Point being is I want to get through this info for this next story because it's very important. Then they talk about Alaska and all this kind of stuff. The point being is they're saying that during that time, institutional investors and mom and pop investors that own, between, let's say, 1 and 50 units. And yeah, you can be a mom and pop, agency with 50 units. I have a buddy that had 43 units during the run up of 2001 to 2008. My point being is that these were all gobbled up, and that's been the story. All right. Now, this is very important for you to understand. And this is what I've been trying to teach people. Well, not trying to show you on the channel. My students get it. They totally get it. I could sit down and get organized and use good editing and the charts and graphs to prove to you where we are in the cycle and why you want to position yourself now and what you need to do. I'll throw a handful of 80% off links down below. That price is going up 10 times on January 1st, and it will actually be closed. This section will be closed to all new students. But if you're a student, guys, I just dropped a brand new lesson. 2 days ago. So go look at that. And there's another one coming out before the first of the year. So here we go. Let's dive into this story. So in July, I covered this, and this was big news. It says here, on Wednesday, we learned that back in July, Invitation Homes, the country's largest owner of U.S. single-family homes, sold off more homes. Now, this doesn't seem like a lot, but remember, this is the biggest institutional single-family home company, owner, renter in the country, okay? In July, they sold off 378 homes, and they only acquired 276, right? Which makes them a net seller of homes. This is in the second quarter of 2023. That marks the third straight quarter that the rental operator was a net seller. Okay, so that was the third straight quarter. So I don't have this quarter's data yet. I'm going to get it, the third quarter. But this is what I'm about to show you. I'm turning off my phone. I'm getting fired up. That second quarter was when interest rates were between 4 and 5%. Actually, they were like really 3.5 to 5%. And they were selling homes, right? Before homes were starting to dip, but they knew exactly what I've been trying to share with you is that when rates go up, everything at the beginning goes up with it. You see inflation in all kinds of asset classes as interest rates go up because borrowing costs goes up, and that gets pushed off to the end consumer, the end user. I'll give an example. UPS just came out with a gas surcharge, right? And you're going, why does that matter? UPS, why would you do that? Gas is getting cheap. It's not. They know where the trend is going. So they don't care that oil went from 95 bucks or 90 bucks a barrel down to 71. They don't care. They just instituted that surcharge. And what happens is that cost eventually gets all the way down to you. All right. That is exactly what Invitation Homes understands. So it's not just the mortgage payment because of the interest going up that matters. Okay. They know the consumer, the renter alone of their homes, is getting squeezed so poorly. Let me give you an example. This is crazy. I had a comment one day from someone, thought they were a real smarty pants. And they said, you're crazy to teach people and convince people to buy. I'll never buy because even if you own the house, your taxes and insurance keep going up. And I go, dang, you're a moron. I'm like, do you honestly tell me that you're renting a place and you think your landlord's like, well, we can't raise his rent just because our cost went up? No. So see, it sounds funny. It's the most simplest thing ever, but nobody teaches this. Real estate cycles. Nobody out there is teaching it. And yet right now, the media is doing their hardest. Right now, CNBC and all these mainstream media, these pundits, are trying so hard to keep you buying real estate because they know they are exiting as fast as they can, just like Invitation Homes. Now, here's the story that's important. Okay, here we go. This just came out about 3 weeks ago. This is from DallasInnovates.com. Now, Innovation Homes is based out of Texas, okay? This is the title. Innovation Homes forms build-to-rent team. Revamps field division with moves aimed at growth. And on the surface, you go, that sounds great. That's just a company that's trying to make it, Ninja. What the heck are you doing picking on them? Let me explain. Because this is smoke, and where there's smoke, there's fire. So watch this. The creation of a dedicated BTR asset management team to be led by Alicia McPhee leverages her extensive real estate expertise to tap into the BTR market's potential. The field division will expand from 2 to 3, a decision set to streamline operations and enhance customer service. All right, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. It says the Dallas-based single-family home leasing company, which is the largest in the nation, Invitation Homes Incorporated, announced several strategic leadership changes. It said it would address continued growth and prepare the company for future expansion. The moves highlight the formation of a specialized build-to-rent team and the restructuring of the company's field division. Let me explain what is going on. I brought that video on the Real Estate Ninja. If you don't mind doing right after this, go straight to the Real Estate Ninja and hit subscribe because this channel has been severely attacked. As a matter of fact, after this, I'll link a video to that channel in the comment section. It would really help me out. I do all kinds of news on there too, and it's been growing like crazy. Thank you. What's happening is I released a very secret, as a matter of fact, I'll share that video, a secret recording from, was it Lennar, one of the nation's largest home builders. And one of their contractors sent me a recording of their conversation with the entire company's subcontractors, begging them to drop their prices 10%. And then they were saying, we will not use that savings for our own gain. We will push it off to the buyer. They are doing everything they can. They are hemorrhaging money. Whatever the news is telling you that mortgage rates dropped, this is amazing time to buy, go buy, people are buying. They are not. Refinance activity is picking up right now only for two different types of people. I cannot stress this enough. Thank you so much, Troy, for the super chat. This is serious. First, people that bought with insane rates in the last 3 or 4 months are refinancing right now. Number two, the only other people that are refinancing are people that are dead flat broke because they're doing debt consolidation or cash out. That is so easy and vital, easy to see and vital for you to understand. Because once you get this stuff in your head, you go, I see the horizon. I see that sun coming up, and that sun means a real estate crash, and I'm gonna go crush it on that thing. You need to be ready for this. If we aren't buying up all these homes and we let these banks buy them, we are screwed as a nation. Please understand that. This isn't a joke. Do you have what it takes inside of you to stretch out and get some knowledge inside of you of how to buy rentals, how to buy real estate, and then be good landlords and go crush it? Because I'm telling you right now, if you don't think that the banks aren't getting ready for this, or Berkshire Hathaway, or any of these other big conglomerates aren't getting ready for this, you're crazy. So let me go into this story a little bit more. This is because whenever they do these revamps and restructurings, they're super excited. Now, when I said that I put out that video about Lennar hurting, this is exactly what they're doing. They are teaming up with builders that are making smaller houses, cheaper houses, less amenities, and they're gonna sell them directly to companies like this, all right? Even Congress knows how big of a deal this is and they're trying to ban it. The Democrats are doing it, but I don't think they're gonna get it pushed through. I really hope they do get it pushed through and squash this, that institutional funds should not be allowed to do that. I think that's wrong because it does create a monopoly. But here's the thing, those companies are also liquidating homes right now, and they're going to be net sellers of homes just like they did in 2007, 2008. Why? Because when their tenants stop paying rent because of a recession, a deep recession, because they got laid off, they're screwed. So they have to start selling those properties. They foreclose and they sell them, okay? So it says here, with our current growth trajectory and plans for continued expansion, it's imperative that we're organized in a way that enables us to scale using full capacities of our platform, he said in a statement. As the nation's premier home leasing company, we rely on the strength of our people and appreciate the value that these lenders bring to our company, as well as to the systems, processes, and the teams, blah, 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 blah. So they start talking about the leadership change. That looks all great, right? But here's the thing. Whenever there's a leadership change in a company, what usually happens is a quarter or 2 quarters down the road, you find out they're in trouble. And they're restructuring and they're putting out all these great press releases. Look at what we're doing over here. Please don't look at what's going on over here. The fact is the cost of borrowing money for these companies, especially Invitation Homes, has risen exponentially. They weren't ready for this. That's why they became net sellers for 3 or 4 consecutive quarters this last year. And this was even before real estate stopped on a dime. It was a lot easier to sell a home. Put it down below if you've been trying to sell a home recently or you got out by the skin of your teeth. I don't even know why people say that. It's the weirdest phrase ever. For lack of better terms, it was so much easier to sell a home in a 5% rate environment, and they're bragging that interest rates have crushed. Rates are exactly where we were in late August. Big whoop-de-doo. So my point being is we're still sitting well above 6% for mortgage rates. And companies like Invitation Homes are going, how can we make money for this? They got to keep raising rents. Well, the rents around the country are falling rapidly because the consumer is done. So the question is, what are you going to do about it? But look, I'll put some more of those 80% off links. I'm running this sale until every day I put out more links. And then when they're gone, they're gone. But What would you pay for being able to save a ton of time and money? And that's why I do a 14-day money-back guarantee. And I have very few returns, quite frankly. If you watch less than 50% of the course and you don't like it, you don't think it's for you, then yeah, in 14 days, I'll give you your money back. I have had very, very few returns, quite honestly. And it's because it's unlike any other training ever. So at 199 bucks, it's up to you if you think that's worth it or not. But I'm going to be honest with you. There's nobody teaching real estate cycles in this nation that I've seen so far. But you can find a lot of this in books. You can find a lot of this on YouTube's, right? It's just up to you to go get it. So go and get it. So if you want to save the time, there's the link. If you want to save the heartache. But my point being is just be ready, because this is the greatest opportunity of your life. I'm going to throw that link to that secret video, that recording from Lennar begging their contractors to drop their price. Go and check it out. If you don't mind hitting the subscribe button over there, the channel's blowing up thanks to my most amazing, amazing subscribers ever. You are part of Ninja Nation, and you know that you are going to get wealthy like a ninja. You don't need people knowing what you're doing. You're going to be secret, but when it's time to strike, you're going to strike. Hope you guys have a great day. The Economic Ninja is out.